there was really a void of vanity. And as the blood rushed out of my body, how do I explain it?
Here comes Wanda, the wonderful witch.
Hi, I'm Wanda. Come on. I have some bewitching news for you. About Hidden Magic, a wizardly new hairspray from Procter & Gamble. It holds yet loves to be combed. The spray I used before was so stiff I couldn't comb. But Hidden Magic has an exclusive holding ingredient, Flexinol. It holds a soft, flexible way. So, if your hair gets mussed, it combs right back. Like magic. Do try it. The hairspray with Flexinol. New Hidden Magic. It holds and holds, yet loves to be combed. Regular or extra control. Hidden Magic.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
This has been the most extraordinary experience of my entire life.
Taylor Swift and her record-breaking Eras Tour. Some fans are claiming they have post-concert amnesia, saying they're having trouble remembering any of it all too well. Well, it's a story we first saw in Time, and Stephanie Ramos has more. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello. Hi, good morning, Rebecca. Post-concert amnesia apparently is a thing. Some Taylor Swift fans are saying they had such an incredible time at her Eras concert, they can't remember parts of it. And scientists say it stems from sensory overload.
Well, unfortunately, like I said, the music industry isn't being run by musicians. So it's being run by accountants and lawyers. So I don't know if they'd know real music if they heard it. What they're looking for is acts that are going to make the most money for them. So you'll see all kinds of little gimmicks, so to speak. And ultimately, real music is just about a microphone and a spotlight. If you can get over like that and bring the special effects within your body, you know, then I think you're gonna have a lot longer career.
There's a haze Taylor Swift fans are feeling as the pop superstar travels across the country on her sold-out Eras Tour.
The concert overall exceeded every expectation that you could have imagined to have. It's just overwhelming in the best way.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is revealing this year's lineup. I've been looking ahead to this one. I love the parade. Well, Emmy and Grammy Award winners share the opening act officially for Santa. She's going to make her appearance just before the parade's end, signaled by our very favorite Kris Kringle, who you see right there on the sleigh. Don't worry, kiddos. He's watching you. Hope you're being good this year.
My mom said to me, you know, sweetheart, one day you should settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man, you know?
The parade will feature 16 giant character balloons, 26 floats, 12 marching bands, and guess what? 700 clowns, 8 performing groups as well. For the first time, the parade's gonna kick off 30 minutes earlier, so set the alarm, because this time it's at 7:30 in the morning.
Swifties posting on social media the experience was so spectacular, they have shaken off some memories of the show, calling it post-concert amnesia.
I keep saying this happened to me. Apparently it's universal.
It's actually a neurologic phenomenon that can happen in any heightened emotional state. As Taylor Swift fans are going to this concert, there's so much to be excited about. There's so much stimuli to process for the brain, and that can actually get in the way of forming and storing memories of that concert experience.
What I said to myself, and I said to the others, I think, look, if we've been recording, we made did lots of sessions, but I didn't think the stuff we did was outstandingly wonderful. It was good, but was it great? And I was thinking, was it really great? And I said, if we're going to do a record, it has to be great.
Some incredible collaborations you alluded to on stage as well. Tell us the names. Gaga, Stevie Wonder, am I right?
Well, she was sitting on the floor in the studio, and Mick said, don't just sit there and hum, you know.
Get up, you can sing.
Get up, let's record this. So she's lovely. She's very talented and lovely.
The latest Foo Fighters project is not an album, it's a horror movie.
There's this weird dude in the yard creeping around.
What kind of dude?
Some weird guy. He's like trimming the hedges and stuff.
The killer gardener of Encino.
Wouldn't be surprised in this house.
Studio 666 adds a rock and roll twist to the classic horror comedy genre. The Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl is possessed with the need to make a killer new album, and his bandmates are left fighting for their lives. The band started filming Studio 666 in secret in 2020, and it's out today. Anthony Mason got a behind-the-scenes look from Grohl himself. Anthony, I thought you might be the man at the hedge.
Good guess. Good morning. After 27 years together, the members of the Foo Fighters are used to wild ideas falling into their laps. So when Dave Grohl pitched Studio 666, the band was on board. Grohl says, before long, the movie that started as a silly little horror film turned into a full-blown feature film.
I sit on a council of 13 people that take orders only from the Rothschild Tribunal in London, which they claim they take their orders directly from Lucifer.
I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions, its name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what to call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. And that's not even the name of the company that owns it. The name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan's owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil is owned by the Lords of London. You can track it all back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I obtained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still, Nash & Young. I saw David the day before Christmas last year, talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood, and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store, and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. I said, thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on and is placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master is cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive offices. And it's placed on an altar, setting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. If that's too hard for you to believe, I'm sorry. That's why they do it. Now listen to me. This is why rock music's addicting. Have you ever seen kids that got rid of their music? They go around like this. They can't wait to find a rock station somewhere and they sneak off just like getting a cigarette or a fix because it's addicting. That's why they can't give it up. The rest of the conversation was this. You can't cast a spell on a Christian, but you can get a Christian to cast a spell on themselves. If you give the permission for the spell to work, being a Christian won't block it. And rock music is not just a song. It is supernatural music that which is carefully designed by their spirit guides or familiar spirits in the form of spells. Now, although the devil's music's power is the music and God's music is the words, much of the songs are written in what we call witch language. Give you kind of an idea. Many of you talk on a CB, unless you know what a smoky is, and a 10-4, and a front door and back door and rocking chair and these type of things. You don't know what you're talking about. Same with witches. When you're in the first and second level, you have to learn over 2,000 words that said by anybody else mean something totally different than when you say them. Elton John has said he's never written a song or sung a song that wasn't in witch language. And I want to show you something. See how many kids in here will be honest and adults. How many remember and have heard at least several times a song called Hotel California? Somebody tell me what it meant. Quickly, somebody tell me what it meant. Huh? That's pretty close. But from the words, what did it mean? Well, that's more of a guess. See, most people can't tell you. That's why when people do drugs and they listen to songs in which language, they get some of the meaning. But most of the time, they can't tell you. Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like, and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. Beyond the Yellow Brick Road? How about The Destroyer by Kiss? Can anybody tell me what it's about?
Taylor, Adele, Gaga, Bieber. At the Grammys tonight, a cavalcade of musicians so famous they only need one name. So who came out on top? Here's ABC's Chris Connolly.
From Adele's epic All I Ask to Demi Lovato's, well, hello. From Taylor Swift's Are We Out of the Woods Yet Wonder to the multicultural wonders of this opener from the Broadway musical Hamilton.
In New York, you can be a new man.
By luck or design, tonight's 58th Annual Grammy Awards came at a moment when music sits proudly at the head of the pop culture table.
My daddy, Alabama.
Thanks to Beyoncé's Formation video and subsequent Super Bowl halftime performance, steeped in Black Lives Matter imagery and substance. And Kanye West's by every means possible rollout for his newest release, The Life of Pablo, featuring a Madison Square Garden fashion show, a Saturday Night Live performance, and a Yeezy-esque tweet storm. Tonight, the up to the second potential of popular song, much on the minds of those there.
And when I wake up, I recognize you're looking at me for the pay cut.
So many of them fans of the rapper Kendrick Lamar.
Whether he takes the trophy home or not, which I'm pretty sure he will, it's a win for him regardless.
I love the fact that that's what he's doing. He's promoting positive values and encouraging unity, bringing people together.
It's not often that you get to hear an artist this authentic and this complete in his vision. And he's due. Yeah, he's definitely due. I hope he wins everything.
Beloved from the streets to the Oval Office, jumping off from his All Right video with a galvanizing performance and winning 5 Grammys, including Best Rap Album.
Everything I know, coming heavy, thinking out loud.
T-Swizzle cheering as her pop protege Ed Sheeran won Best Song for what looms as a generation-defining track, Thinking Out Loud.
If you would have told my 11-year-old, 5-year-old, any age that I would have received an award from Stevie Wonder, I would have been chuffed. So thank you very much.
And then the pop unicorn herself, sporting a banged-out bob, picking up Album of the Year for 1989, serving up an empowerment speech. That also featured shade thrown at 100 miles an hour in the direction of Kanye West, whose new record declares, I made that famous.
Kiss said in it, kids, show your parents. They're talking about Helter Skelter. Beatles sung Helter Skelter in which language? Nobody knew what it meant. Manson did because he belonged to the process. Helter Skelter is a several thousand-year-old word. Most of the music is either about Helter Skelter or a place called the Night Winds, which is what Hotel California is about, and different doctrines of witchcraft. You listen to them, your parents let you listen to them, and they have no idea. Kiss openly bragged how they were gaining control of people through their music because the people played their music. They told how they didn't form their own group. Their church, because they were ordained ministers of the Satanist church, placed them together. And that's how most of the music is done. David Crosby, when him and Crosby, Still Nash and Young produced the record Two-Way Street,
They ordered the Principality of Medivh to order demons of rebellion to go into the record, and everybody that heard it would be rebellious against law and order and government. And it was one of the reasons for the great upheaval in the 60s was that one album, and they take open credit for it.
I have personally talked with Johnny Todd on the basis of Jack Chick's recommendations. Having known Johnny Todd now for more than 4 years, and my having known him for some 6 months, I believe that Johnny Todd is a genuinely converted man, saved by the grace of God out of the depths of Satanism.
The first thing they do is they write the script. The script is the first agenda in their propaganda and in their mission for corruption. Okay, it's the message of the script. Then they get the actors, and the actors are brainwashed over a period of time. And why is that? Because an actor will do anything they can in order to act. Most actors are very desperate. What's sad is they get a lot of children in these movies, and the children start buying the propaganda.
Yet much of the Grammy evening held heroes of the past. The Eagles, reuniting just weeks after the passing of frontman Glenn Frey, playing Take It Easy with co-writer Jackson Browne in Frey's stead. Lady Gaga, who'd tattooed David Bowie's face on her torso earlier in the week, is shown on Snapchat, with a tribute that had the carpet buzzing in anticipation.
Why do you think she's the right person to honor a guy like Bowie?
Well, you can just tell that she is such a big fan, you know what I mean? Like, it's so present in all her work, and you tell she lives and breathes it.
Did he give you a way of looking at the world that was different for you?
His influence is in almost everything I've ever done.
Technology allowing Gaga to manipulate the Bowie-esque colors and images upon her face. Bonnie Raitt, long a friend and colleague of the late B.B. King, bluesing it up with country multi-Grammy winner Chris Stapleton, Atlas.
Chris Stapleton to ask for me specifically to be part of this, and knowing I was good friends with B, it's really nice for me to be able to, look up. I just have to not turn around and see those photos because it'll make me too sad.
And old school sound via this retro-fried shoe-boppin' hitmaker earned the Best New Artist Grammy for Meghan Trainor.
I'm a mess.
Though this tribute to hard rock legend Lemmy from Motorhead offered an unexpected new frontman in Johnny Depp.
What's it going to be like for you to look at 15 rows of well-known musicians while you're singing up there?
I won't be looking. My head will be straight down, and I can't look. I'd drop dead.
The entire night, a showcase for superstars who have thrived amid the seismic changes in the music business in the age of digital and streaming.
Adele is just a fascinating star. You've got these deep and dark and sort of lonely songs, and she's so funny. And she's a very, very likable character.
And a good thing, too. Late reports and tweets commenting on technical issues at the top of her performance.
I never dreamt I'd get to the level that I'm at. This is whack. This is more than I ever could have asked. Everywhere I go, a hat, a sweater, hood, a mask. What about math? How come I wasn't ever good at that? It's like the boy in the bubble who never could adapt. I'm trapped. If I can go back, I never would have rapped. I sold my soul to the devil. I'll never get it back. I just want to leave this game with level head intact.
So the next step is, now that they've kind of built their little network, they send their network out to promote the propaganda, and they release the movie, which is propaganda, into the homes of the other children, into the families, and they do it by way of sending out the actors to promote the movie and talk about it on all the talk shows. So you see, it's kind of like weaving a small web, and as the web goes out, it gets larger and larger.
Six. Murder, Jesus. Six.
to the point where people are brainwashed over a period of 4, 5, 6, 10 years as Hollywood builds these propaganda movie stars.
I found when I was a 16-year-old, fresh from boarding school, going out into, on the casting couch, I was definitely objectified to an extreme. The kinds of roles and the kinds of things I was expected to do in auditions. I mean, there was one horrific incident where I went back for a second audition, and the director asked me to sit with my legs apart. The camera was right between, positioned where it could see up my skirt, to put my leg over the arm of the chair, and before I started my dialogue, think about the character that I was supposed to be having the dialogue with, and how it felt to be made love to by this person. And I was thinking, this is so strange. Why would I need to do that? But this is the director. He is talking. There's the casting director.
It must be normal.
It must be normal. I'm 18 years old, and I'm thinking this is obviously something that I was in a protected. There were boundaries, and it turned out that the director who went on to make the film and who I was auditioning for used to show that video late at night to interested parties.
Like I told y'all earlier, you have entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a billion times and you didn't even know.
Number nine.
It's my life.
The question is, what did Michael Jackson know about Blind 11? We all know Michael was supposed to have a meeting in the Slim Towers, but slept in that morning. But what you didn't know was the reason why he may have slept in. He had just completed a concert the night before in New York, Madison Square Gardens. And that's what we'll be covering in this video. I want to thank a friend from the Netherlands who had me take another look at this. The numbers and symbolism surrounding this concert are undeniable and seem to implicate Michael Jackson in the know of what would happen the following day. I'll present the evidence and let you decide what all of it means. Now, many will argue that he was just simply trying to warn us, but I disagree. When you know that thousands of people are going to die and millions more in wars fought because of it, you either go bold or you go home. This was a ritual, hands down. Let's begin. The bizarre tale begins with a 2-day concert that ended on September 10th, 2001. Yes, you heard me correctly. September 10th, 2001. It was MJ's 30th anniversary and 11 years since he had last performed live in the United States. This was the stage. And I want you to focus your attention at the top of the stage where you see concentric arches. And I want you to count the ones with 3 sides each. That's 3, 6, and 9. There are 9 total sides in that outer portion of the arches. And now when you count the interior, you get 11 sides. Now there are 3 concentric arches in the interior. So 3 times 11 is 33. That is the Hebrew year that the towers opened. Now this goes deeper. This isn't just grabbing and pulling at straws. This is the concert poster with 11 acts on one side and 16 on the other. And if you think that's a stretch, why don't you count the step faces leading up to the arches on the stage? There are 16. Now the DVD you see here depicts his name in a different way. It's stylized than you would see on the concert poster. It's the same image, but modified, changed, updated, altered. Let me put this in perspective for you. They had to physically create the differences that you see here in the stylized type. And this one seems to encode 119 backwards, or blind 11. In this ABC article, dated the night of the concert, we see and hear about the bizarre atmosphere in full display during the concert. Marlon Brando removes his watch and seems to pray over it. Almost implicate that time is up. Now he goes on to explain that he was waiting 1 minute in silence to talk about tortured children. And the audience was very upset about this because he was talking about children being, I can't even say it on this video or it will be flagged. Multiple ways in which children could be tortured is what he spoke about in a 10-minute, very uncomfortable speech in which the crowd was booing. He rambled on for 10 minutes about children dying in various horrible ways.
It could be you. It could be your children. I had the pleasure of working for the United Nations. I worked for UNICEF for quite a long time.
The audience clearly was not in the mood for Brando's doom and gloom. They booed loudly while he admonished them. This is straight out of the ABC article. And then he yells out to them, "It could be you or your children." It wasn't until Brando invoked Michael's name and said that the star was giving money to build a hospital in Florida to help sick children that they stopped booing, and they were relieved when Brando left the stage. Now what the ABC article doesn't tell you, and what you'll see in this clip of Brando, is that he tells people to go to michaeljackson.com several times to give their money. Now we'll get into the hypocrisy of what that all entails later in this video. Finally, 2 hours in the show, Elizabeth Taylor introduces Michael Jackson and his brothers, who took the stage for the first time in 20 years, amid bursts of fireworks and flashing video message that said, "Brace yourselves." Is this all starting to make sense? Michael comes up out of the depths of the floor like he's coming up out of hell. He's got 6 plates on his back and 8 bootstraps on each leg. That's 88. Now for those of you that don't know, the Slim Towers are 2 8-faced columns. And every year on Blind 11, they shine 88 xenon lights up into the sky in recognition of the 2 8-faced columns. Right in your face, and nobody saw it. It goes deeper. There are 11 set lights across the top of the stage. You can count them here. Now, Britney Spears was noticeably uncomfortable after a last-minute decision to appear due to a contract dispute, and she appears in a green dress. The concert ended with Chris Tucker, Michael Jackson, and Usher performing "You Rock My World." And here you see Michael fall out between the 2 men. So I decided to look closer at these 2 men and Michael Jackson in this final act on September 10th, hours before the attack. Michael, born on August 29th. Then we had Usher, born on October 14th. And finally, we had Chris Tucker, born on August 31st. Now, when you insert Blind 11 into those dates, what you have is 2 dates, 2 days difference, 11 days difference, and 33 days difference. Remember, 3 buildings fell that day.
Now, you may not be aware, a hurricane was forecast for New York that fateful day, a storm that could have conceivably changed history. News 12 meteorologist Joe Rayo is here with Remembering 9/11. Joe.
Well, absolutely, Brian. You know, the weather has played a crucial role in many historical events, from D-Day to the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger. And tonight, in the wake of Hurricane Irene, ironically enough, how another storm may have made a difference. For on the day before 9/11, all eyes were focused on a major hurricane. From here on Chopper 12, we have access to spectacular panoramic views of the greater New York metropolitan area. And these scenes are enhanced on this particular morning by the weather. Indeed, it's the kind of day that meteorologists might categorize as severe clear. And now, still under construction, yet looming large in our view, is One World Trade Center. You know, seeing this particular edifice against these blue skies is a haunting reminder of the weather conditions on that tragic day 10 years ago. A gorgeous morning in late summer. But had the weather been just a little different, the tragic events that we now associate with the date September 11, 2001 might never have happened. The day before 9/11, over the greater New York area, skies were turbulent with extensive cloud cover, accompanied by scattered showers. I remember that day very well. I was here at News 12 doing my evening weathercast and showing our viewers satellite images of a very powerful storm, a Category 3 hurricane, Hurricane Erin, which was moving on a track that would take it, perhaps the next day, right into the tri-state metropolitan area. Notice also the movement. It's moving toward the northwest, and if it were to keep on moving, it would be heading right toward Long Island and southern New England, but it's not going to do that. But then I pointed out that the cold front that was moving through our area would ultimately push Erin away from the East Coast. Will be turned around and moved to the north and northeast, out of the picture for us as this cold front comes on in and through, and for all intents and purposes just boom, kicks Erin right on out to sea.
So I wanted to look closer, so I looked into the music video for this song. And this is what I found. It features Michael in a bar confronting a gang, competing for a girl, basically. It opens with the 88. Again, the 88 xenon lights, 2 8-faced columns of the Slim Towers. The 88 is in the doorway, in the windows of this restaurant. Halfway through the music video, we see the same twin octagons, depicted as poker tables. Just after Michael and the girl he's after in the video both throw wads of money, which I believe represent the airplanes, at the tables, the money tables, which were the 2 poker tables, the Slim Towers, the money changers, like it's mentioned in the Bible. They throw the money at the tables. It lands perfectly on the King of Diamonds, which is the rarest card in the deck, by the way. Standard playing cards are 88 millimeters wide. This is the only card, this King of Diamonds, to have both one eye on the king and an axe. Now at this point, this is where things absolutely go off the rails, because this King of Diamonds has a secret occult known meaning. If you have played the cards for any length of time, you will have encountered the one-eyed cards. There are 2 one-eyed jacks in a standard deck of cards, but there's also a one-eyed king as well that has one eye. Of diamonds, the King of Diamonds. There is something unmistakably significant about these cards, and that's why they are most often regarded as the intuitive choice when selecting wild cards. The obvious reason why the cards are referred to as one-eyed is because they are shown in profile, so there's literally only one eye visible on the face card. The esoteric reasons are much more interesting. Odin, the one-eyed king, If you ask a gambling aficionado, they will tell you that the King of Diamonds is supposed to represent Julius Caesar. However, the real gamblers out there who collect stories from the old world know the real truth behind the particular tale. The one-eyed king symbolism is in reference to Odin, one of the major gods in Norse mythology. That's right, the King of Diamond Kingdom is also the King of Asgard. Why Odin? Well, according to legend, Odin sacrificed one of his eyes in exchange for secret wisdom of runes, a system of magic that employs special symbols and shapes for the purposes of divination and otherworldly effect, right there in Michael Jackson's video. The day before Blind 11. This is precisely why the King of Diamonds is shown on nearly every deck of cards, with his hand offering the diamond symbol to the viewer with one eye facing away. The eye is actually missing because it was sacrificed to attain the type of power that is only found buried in the mythological past, or World of Warcraft. This is all to say that the King of Diamonds is no normal ruler. He is a practitioner of the dark arts. There is one reason alone why Aces will beat out the King of Diamonds allows it. It's all part of his plan, written in the red stars. Now listen to this part. In the previous article, looking at the King of Hearts, we talk about the choice of weapons employed by the different lords of the playing card kingdom. In a true homage to Odin, who traditionally carries a spear, the King of Diamonds opts out of the sword, carried by the King of Spades, clubs, and most likely hearts. So all the other cards have swords on them, but the King of Diamonds is the only one to carry an axe with a long handle. Now you're going to hear why. The main thing to take note about is that he's not holding a spear. If you look at all the other kings in the deck of cards, they all have their swords firmly grasped in their hands, but the King of Diamonds has evolved his runic power to a point where he can control objects with his mind. Why use your hands to hold things when you can use the untapped power of the diamond shape? Take note of his other hand, solemnly offering up this jewel of the occult to any gambler who might take notice of what lies beyond. If you prove yourself worthy, some have said that the Diamond King will occasionally bestowing special powers on his disciples, like the ability to summon a full house post-flop on command. And this ritual concert that Michael Jackson was involved in seemed to be handing off the baton. It was the last time he would appear with the Jackson 5. And I believe it was his last album that charted. And he had all this parade of people who he was handing the baton off to in this concert. The diamond might be the least powerful suit in the deck, but when you see the one-eyed king in your hand, just remember that he is a god who chooses to inhabit a physical body and live among mortal men. The next time you consider folding, think again. You just might witness some magic. So if you got to the end of this decode and you're wondering why, how could a person like Michael Jackson, who has done so much for children, be involved or have foreknowledge of such wide-scale mass sacrifice? And I'll explain it to you. This is called emotional sorcery, duping delight, glee in the knowing of future events of mass sacrifice, and harnessing that energy before and after the event to maintain a firm hold on the hearts and minds of those they wish to control. They use these catalyzing events and they carefully place their pawns all around these events. They use the most influential of humanity, who then become the Pied Pipers of fate, forced into servitude through blackmail and threats. Threats of harm to them, their families, threats of being poor. They present to you the greatest of humanitarians and philanthropists to tighten their stranglehold on your emotions and reinforce their deception. They call on you, living paycheck to paycheck, to send in your scraps, when each of them could raise billions of dollars by simply giving away 90% of their income, which would still leave them to be millionaires. The hypocrisy is glaring, but few see it through the fog of deception. Now you can say anything you want about the celebrity worship on display at this concert. You can call me a hater or a critic. It isn't about that. The look on the faces of some of these fans who spent as much as $10,000 per seat was horrifying. But I watched the entire thing and I didn't hear Jesus Christ mentioned one time. He is the giver and the source of all love in this world. So if your inclination is to perceive this video as just another hater, ask yourself, what man could consume the souls of 1 billion people's affirmations and rarely, if ever, give credit where the credit is due? Ask yourself that.
How can I serve you, my queen?
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest one of all?
You are. But one day, your beauty will be surpassed by Snow White.
You know what will happen if you fail me. Bring her to me. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Snow White, you are the true queen.
Go on, have a bite.
You have been very kind to me. I'm awfully grateful.
She's beautiful, just like an angel.
We walked arm in arm, but I didn't feel his touch. When you love so long that the thrill is gone, and I ask you now,
Beware of Angels.
what's it got to do?
Angel by Thierry Mugler, the eau de parfum.
to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love. I'm created from the plans that you design. A perfect blueprint of all that you require. Been invented to accommodate you. I've been programmed to upgrade you. I was made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love. And I'm perfectly in sync with you. And I know that you can feel it too. Feel it too. Feel it
Charter City is stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever. The Smart Mark. Throw your other devices away because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash. Book your travel. And even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. And don't let the lines discourage you. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free. A gift of thanks to our city from Rook Unlimited.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, number 1.
Time to test our system, number 6. The Flex Fighters are out there somewhere. Teaming up with Jonathan Rook. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
We should find the Flex Fighters. We should find the Flex Fighters.
Growing up in this city, the streets of Old Town, I saw the worst mankind had to offer. Chaos, disorder. I vowed to make it all change. To make it all better. All these years working in secret. Rising up the ranks of the tech men. It was all leading to this day. Order has finally been established in Charter City. No child will have to fear for their safety again.
The people owe you the greatest of debts, number 1, for liberating them from the chaos of their lives.
You guys love new tech. You didn't want to get smart marked?
No way. That's clearly some shady biz. Who wants to be...
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a Smart Mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos, or you will be eliminated.
Grandpa, Mr. Savick, where is everybody?
They all went to get those foolish new devices.
What? No, they can't. Grandpa, those things are dangerous. It's a conspiracy. Mind control.
I knew it!
3 hours is enough time for us to get to our families. Maybe we can stop them before they get marked.
They seem to be establishing checkpoints of some kind.
This is how they keep order.
This is the nightmare I warned you about. People think smart marks are brand new Rook tech that will improve their lives. They don't know they're being tricked.
All smart marks so far. But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
Darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. I was made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love.
Showmanship and theatrics. When a magician waves his hand and says, "This is where the magic is happening," the real trick is happening somewhere else. Misdirection, a basic concept of magic.
I need to get to here. What's there? The earliest estimate of the singularity, when man will be able to transfer his consciousness into machines and achieve immortality.
So you're upset about missing out on becoming some sort of freakish, self-aware robot?
By this much?
said you do not move. Silence like a cancer rose. Hear my words and I might teach you. Take my arms and I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence.
Do you not think an angel rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm? This work continues. The story goes on. And an angel still rides in the whirlwind and directs this storm. God bless you all. And God bless America.
Get ready to read all these words on this page without making a mistake. Look at the letter at the end and remember the sound it makes. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready to read this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word? Kid. Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready. What word? Steal. Yes, steal. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kick. Yes, kick. Get ready. Steal. Yes, steal. Get ready. Play. Yes, play. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Open your book up to lesson 60 on page 150.
Behold the bounty of Earth. This is the cube of Rubik. This simple puzzle was actually considered unsolvable by the humans.
Did they not have brains?
Simple ones. Now, this was apparently a 21st century torture device.
How long would they keep them strapped in there?
Sometimes hours at a time. Pretty gruesome. And over here we have their alphabet. It was called emoji. Few symbols could express the vast extent of their emotion. They had chia pets, just like we do. And this is the white and gold dress that caused the Civil War. This is Scott Baio. But most amazing of all are the avocados from Mexico. They're always in season, so you can enjoy them all year long. Anybody want to feed Scott Baio? It's included in the price of admission. No?
I mean, he double dipped. He'll regenerate.
No, he won't. He was a quad mogurt.
Avocados from Mexico.
Mr. Brand, gentlemen, this is the legacy handed down to us by Sir.
Our orders are to burn all the books and gather up supplies. If you come across any refugees, you will bring them forward. The cap is our symbol! Each man will wear it with pride!
How would you say if everything that you knew was a lie?
Roxy, you forgot your diary. You wouldn't want to leave this behind.
Do you know Professor Diedrich? He told me not to get the chip. He said the bombings were planned.
The housing collapse, the financial collapse, all part of a sick plan.
The man himself, Mr. Zurn!
Roxy, almost everything in your diary has a prophecy.
By his own will, can a man rule the world? Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God,